I think I'm live in all the places. It's Amanda Golightly from Align Natural Health. How's everyone doing today? Hopefully, some people will jump on live with me. That would be wonderful. So today, as you saw from the title, radiation it is the invisible hazard that's affecting your health. And the sources of radiation are just so common that many of us don't even realize that we're absolutely surrounded by them. And where do you get them? Where do you get radiation from? It's probably from more places than you even expected that it would be. You've got the usual ones that you would expect in the medical world, like X-rays and radioactive treatments and things like that. But then there are the ones that we come into contact with on a daily basis, and that can be our cell phones, our laptops that are in front of us, the sun exposure, Bluetooth applications. So all of your wireless technology, like fitness trackers, if you're wearing earbuds or anything to listen to something that doesn't have a wire attached to it, you will be affected there. And that's pretty critical because that's right around your brain. There's also microwaves that I know people use, and even water. Radioactive elements can get into the water supply, and sometimes that can be something that we're consuming. So, what are the symptoms that we can experience with too much radiation, or, if you will, radiation poisoning? You may feel fatigued, tired, and sleepy. I know recently I've had some extra exposure to radiation myself by using multiple screens. And by the end of the day, you're just zonked. You're just drained and you just want to go to sleep. And you may not even realize it right away. And then all of a sudden it hits you. It's like, I've been in front of my screens all day. I have multiple screens. I've been talking on a phone, cell phone specifically, and I'm just done. And these are the reasons why, because we're being affected by these radio waves that are coming from this technology that's surrounding us. And even LED bulbs. This is the newest thing, LED technology that's in our home, in our lights. And these are things that are bouncing all around us. You've got Wi-Fi connections. And if you live in a more condensed environment, being condos or townhomes or something like that, you're not only dealing with what's in your home, you're dealing with what's in the homes that are nearby. Because have you ever gone to connect to a wireless to Wi-Fi, and what pops up? The long list of all the connections you can make, and sometimes there are weird names for those. But it's crazy to think all of that surrounding us is affecting us. And yes, there are like 10 Wi-Fi networks, right? Isn't it insane? And even beyond that, a lot of homes now, most homes, I think, have these smart meters outside of their place. And these are also things that are being pinged or signaled to. And if that happens to be anywhere near where you're sleeping, that could be affecting your sleep too. I know some people who have gone through the process of having these removed from their house and going back to an analog system. And I understand it can be a bit of a process going through that and talking to your utility about that. It is doable. Sometimes it just might take a bit more of a fight to get it done. And you may even, maybe even a monthly charge in addition to what you're already paying. But I mean, if your health is that much of a concern to you and you're willing to do that, that's just something you got to do. I didn't even put together in the past that my Fitbit could be the reason I'm struggling with sleep. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, and that's like right on your wrist. And how do you sleep? Are you sleeping? Is your Fitbit under your head, or is it somewhere closer to your body? And that's like right wherever that is in your body is going to be getting that radiation. So it's very interesting to learn these things, and I'm very happy to be able to share it with everyone. So the fatigue, tiredness, and sleepiness is the one thing that you could experience, but you could be grumpy and irritable as well. And that could come from, if you've been having this exposure and then you're just kind of not happy about anything, and that's just affecting your mood and how you are. Even for not necessarily just kids, but anyone who has a wireless video game of sorts. And I know they've got those headsets now. So if you're finding that your kids are using either the wireless games of some sort or on their technology, and you're just finding their eyes are hurting them or they're getting grumpy and stuff, this could be why they're experiencing that or acting that way. They could also be apathetic. You could have difficulty concentrating, difficulty with memory, difficulty learning. You could have headaches and sharp pains in your head, maybe if you're experiencing an overload of radiation, and even nausea and upset stomach could be a possibility with these things. There's just so many things, and this is the beauty of using quantum nutrition testing, because then we can find out, is radiation the cause of your symptoms? Is this the reason that you're experiencing the sharp pains in your head? So what does this do to the body? When you are bombarded by all this radiation, this technology, these radio waves in your environment, they're going to weaken your thyroid. Your thyroid, which is the gland just in your neck here, it's like a butterfly kind of shape. It weakens your thyroid, and this can cause low energy. It can cause weight gain, hair loss. I know a lot of women out there deal with lots of hair loss. So if you're in the shower and you're just finding clumps are coming out, and there's just way more than you think should be coming out, which it's not normal. These are symptoms that are not normal, and there's a reason for it. You could also experience depression as a result there too. It opens the blood-brain barrier to metals. So if you have metals, say, in your teeth, if you have amalgams, which are mercury, I used to have these myself because when I was younger and as a kid, I was terrible. I consumed so much sugar. And when you're consuming sugar, that depletes your minerals. And when you're consuming sugar, you need minerals in order to break that down. So if you don't have enough, where is your body going to take that from? It's going to take it from your bones, and your teeth are also bones. So that's kind of another side story. But if you have any metals in your teeth, this is what's going to be pulled from there. And that could go right to your brain, which is right next door. Radiation can change the structure of your DNA. There are studies out there I know that have shown increases in brain tumors with radiation, or cancer for that matter. You could have menstrual infertility problems, dry and flaky skin, which I know can be annoying, especially if it gets to the part where if there's any cracking, it can be very painful. Radiation is stored in your fat tissue. So if you are someone who is, say, you have some excess weight in your body and you're trying to get rid of that, our body is so smart that it will store things in our fat cells to protect us. And maybe the reason that you can't lose that weight is because your body's holding on to that toxin, that radiation, or even a metal or anything else. And once you actually detox that from the body, usually the natural flow of things is the fat will also reduce, right? You could have constant fatigue and tiredness, as I mentioned. All the bombardment with screens and the radiation coming off that really has a huge impact on us, more than we realize. You could have muscle soreness and pain as a result, and even higher cholesterol levels, which is kind of interesting. But why do we have cholesterol? Cholesterol usually comes into the picture when we need to repair something. And generally it is when there's excess inflammation in the body, or maybe as just something needs to be repaired. Cholesterol has a really important job. I know it's been kind of given a negative connotation that it's the enemy of us, right? But it is very important, plays a critical role in creating our hormones and things like that. So cholesterol is not the enemy. Inflammation in our body is actually the problem. And generally that's caused by carbs and sugars and things like that. Pardon me. So things to keep in mind with radiation: if you have excess radiation in your body, it's going to open the door to bugs. And when I say bugs, I mean parasites, bacterias, and viruses. When your body is weakened by radiation, these things have an open door to access your body and get into your system and begin to cause problems. And this is another reason to reduce your exposure. So how do we actually do that? How do we prevent the exposure to radiation. One thing you can do is don't keep your cell phone in your pockets, on your body as much as you can, because wherever you're keeping it, I know some women will put it in their bras. Some people keep it in either their pockets, back pockets, and wherever it's located, you're going to be radiating that part of your body. Some people, when they drive, I know I've done it myself. Where do you put your phone? Or if you're just sitting in the car, maybe you just place the phone in between your legs, and then you are radiating those parts of your body. So keep the phones away from your body as much as you can. If you're going to have a conversation on the phone, use wired headphones, or maybe have it on speakerphone and keep it away from your body. You can also, if it's a longer conversation, even though you're still going to have some radiation from using a screen, you could be on a Zoom instead. So again, at least the technology is away from your body and not like right next to your head. So Zoom or Skype or something like that, you can use that for those longer conversations. Don't keep laptops on your body as well. If you're going to be sitting down, make sure it's on a table, or even using a pillow just to kind of have that barrier between yourself and the laptop. I know a lot of people will sleep and they charge their phone or keep their phone under their pillow. If it's plugged in and charged, this one could be a fire hazard, a fire potential there. It also affects your sleep cycles, right? So if you're having it underneath your head, that's going to be affecting your head and your sleep cycle. Ideally, the best thing you can do is keep it out of the room, or at least as far away from where you're sleeping as possible. So these are just things you can keep in mind. And it's not always going to be an all at once. You're going to be kind of a layered effect. To pick one thing you can do today to reduce your exposure, and then add on to that when you can, right? It's just about changing our habits and creating new routines. So you can get EMF protection for your phones. Like there's little cards. Protect Pro is one that you can go and look for. There's probably others out there. Just look at the reviews, do your research on those. With little kids and babies, as much as you can, don't allow them to play with cell phones and technology, because I mean they're young and they're growing, and you want them to grow as best as they can, and avoiding as much radiation as possible would be great. I was going to say props, but I only have one prop. You can get things like selenite. Selenite is great for absorbing radiation. So you can actually place it where you sleep. You can place it next to your modem and routers, and it'll absorb things for you. And it's kind of pretty too. I like it, which is nice. So yeah, just stuff like that. Selenite lamps or crystals. So you can put those around in your environment. They look nice. They're kind of cool. And then that'll help reduce your exposure. It can also help with negative energy, which is cool as well. Any negative energy in your field or in your environment, that can help with that, which is really kind of neat. Radiation is one of the things that we look for when we're doing our quantum nutrition testing. It's one of the 6 main causes actually that we handle. And again, with the beauty of quantum nutrition, we can find out why you're experiencing the symptoms. Is radiation the cause? Or is it something else? Is it metals, toxins, chemicals? Is it parasites? Like there's so many things, and there's even more specific things than that maybe to you, depending on your history and where you work and things like that. Maybe there's different exposures that you're having that are causing the symptoms you're experiencing. And we always want to look at the cause. We don't want to cover up the symptoms by using something to just reduce it and suppress it. We want to get to the root cause and find out what's going on. Yes, I started charging my phone in the kitchen at bedtime years ago and can't imagine going back for several reasons. Okay, very cool. Yeah, it's a part of just creating new routines and new habits. And sometimes we can be a little, we're pretty much in our routines and it's hard to venture away from that, but just little things at a time can make a difference. And just start making those decisions. So at Align Natural Health, we use quantum nutrition testing. We have initial consult bundle that we have on special for $135. It is normally $199. So if you want to work with us, you can reach out to us and go to our website. I will eventually get that in the comments. I haven't gotten it there yet, but I will. So basically, that includes a 2 appointment consult bundle, if you will, or initial consult. So the first appointment, basically, before the appointment, we would send you paperwork. You would fill that all out. It would be like a symptom survey. You'd fill all that in and send that back to us. And the first call would basically be 30 minutes. We go through all that information, find out everything we need to know about your family history, your where you work, anything there that could be an exposure. If you've had kids, what that was like, what was the pregnancy like, what was the birthing process like, have you had any surgeries? Because surgeries can have an impact, especially if you've had any organs or anything removed. Surgeries also leave scars behind, and scars can affect the body too. So that's something that we also want to know. And basically, we would go through and then find out, what are your concerns? What are the main things that are you looking to work on and improve? And these are things that we would discuss with you. And from there, in between, we would do the testing. We'd go through and test all of your organs and glands from head to toe, find out what's working, what's not working. And then we find out the cause. Why is not that organ, why is your liver not functioning the way it needs to? And it could be a number of things. As I said, it could be radiation, like we're talking about today. It could be parasites. It could be mold. It could be related to scars. Who knows what? There's so many factors involved because we're just so exposed to toxins and chemicals in our environments, and we need to start detoxing those things out of our body so it can function the way it needs to. So we check all your organs and glands, see what's working, find the cause, and then from there we can find out what your body needs to get it back into balance, what supplementation it needs, or maybe what certain foods that you need to support your body. And when I talk about foods, I know some people kind of get a bit hesitant because they think perhaps we're going to try and change your diet or something like that. And normally we want to work with whatever you're eating already. And we will suggest some changes if need be, because it's totally up to your body and what your body needs, right? Because for me, I know I've had issues with wheat in the past, so I had to stop consuming that for a time. And it may not be forever that that's the case. It's just your body needs time to heal and go through that process. Don't be scared off by that. We have a lot of great testimonials that people are giving great feedback as far as the experiences they're having. Pardon me. So just go to our website, check all that stuff out. There's lots of great information there. If you have any sort of questions, please reach out to us either on the website or on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you're watching this. Please reach out. And if you think this information is helpful for someone you know, please share it with them. Please share it. We're always looking to get this information out to as many people as possible so we can help them with their health. And even if they don't work with us, maybe you're just getting some more information that can help you make some changes in your life, right? That's ultimately the goal. We're just sharing information and want to make health better for everybody as much as we can. So thank you for listening today. I appreciate everyone who is watching or will watch. Again, if you have any questions, anything, please reach out at any time. Look out for that special on our website, as I mentioned. And I'm Amanda Golightly with Align Natural Health. Have a wonderful day.